Hey guys, welcome back. Uh, Figured on this one because there was three games on, and had some stuff to do. So I wasn't able to do the individual games kind of like I want to. So I'm kind of combining them all into one here, and yeah, we had some good ones, had some really good ones, and the first one we're going over is Game 6 of the Rangers and Penguins. The Penguins, of course, they came into this game. They were up 3-2, and after being up 3-1, so they're up 3-2. Penguins win. They move to the next round. Rangers win. We go to Game 7, and yeah, first 10 minutes. Not a whole, end-to-end action. A lot of good chances for both teams. Had a good number of chances. And finally, at 14-12, it's Carter from Kapanen and Pettersson to give the Penguins a 1-0 lead. So you're like, okay, cool. Oh, also too, Crosby was not in the lineup tonight. He suffered an upper body injury / concussion potentially, so he was not in the lineup tonight, and I think that was a big factor in the result tonight, because we know how good the Penguins are when Crosby's in the lineup. The Penguins are definitely a better team with Crosby in the lineup. Of course, you had Shesterkin for the Rangers and Domingue again for the Penguins, and so yeah, 14-12. Carter scores from Kapanen and Pettersson, makes it 1-0. Then a little over a minute and a half later, the Penguins make it 2-0. It's Rust from Gensel at 15:48. So that puts the Penguins up 2-0. They've got the Rangers on their heels, and the first period ends. The Penguins are up 2-0. So you're thinking, all right, this is looking good for Pittsburgh. Well, in the second period, that kind of changes, because the first 5 minutes there's some end-to-end action, and then who was it? Rodriguez. Rodriguez takes a bad penalty, just a really bad penalty. Sends the Rangers to the power play, and at 5:05, it's Zibanejad from Strome and Fox on the power play to bring the Rangers back within one. So it's 2-1. And that really started the Rangers. I mean, they started hauling, and they were flying after that. And then a minute 20 after that one, it's Zibanejad again. This time from Fox and Lindgren. So now it's 2-2. It's so literally the Penguins went from being up 2-0 to within a minute and a half, the game is tied at 2. So it's like, here, something about 2-goal leads, 2-0 leads, especially the last few days. You get up 2-0, you need to find a way to lock that down, because 2-0 leads right now have not been good to have in these playoffs, especially this past week. And then the Penguins again, they end up in the penalty box, and at 13:48 on the power play, it's Kreider with his third of the year from Zibanejad and Shesterkin. Shesterkin made a beautiful. I mean, you don't see a lot of the goalies make these kind of beautiful passes, But he played this puck, and he just sent this. I mean, he hit Zibanejad right at the Penguin blue line, and Zibanejad went in. He made a nice pass over to Kreider, and Kreider buried it. So it is now 3-2 New York. So the Penguins were up 2-0. Now they're trailing 3-2. Apparently the Rangers have watched what Toronto has done to Tampa the last couple of games, because now the Rangers are up 3-2. But the Penguins tied it up relatively. I mean, it wasn't like too quickly, but I mean, it wasn't. It didn't take much longer. It was little less than 3 minutes later. At 16:36, it's Malkin unassisted. So that makes it 3-3. So we've got a good game here. And the third period, there's not a lot. There wasn't a lot going on. I mean, the action was end-to-end, but not a whole ton of shots were being fired at the goaltenders. I mean, there were a couple of really good chances that just they didn't get on net. And at 18:32, Kreider scores on a shot that, it hit Domingue. Kreider took the shot. It hit Domingue right in the chest. The chest glove went straight up in the air, fell right behind him and in the net. It was one of the, you don't see that every day, where, the shot hits the goalie, goes up over his head and in the net. It was odd. Very, very odd kind of goal to see. But that puts the Penguins, or the Rangers, up 4-3. And that's basically your game winner. Because then, a minute later, it's Kopp scoring into the empty net from Rooney and Fox. And that's your game. It's the Rangers win 5-3. They force Game 7 back in Madison Square Garden. This was the kind of game the Penguins, to me, needed to win. They had to win this game. Now, having to go back to Madison Square Garden in New York, and we don't know if Crosby's gonna, we'll have to, between now and Sunday, we'll find out about Crosby, whether or not he's going to be able to play or not. So, but yeah, the Rangers win 5-3. The shots favored the Rangers. It was 13. It was the shots in total favored the Rangers, but in the first, it was the Penguins led 13-12 in shots. The second period was all New York, 18-13 in shot for the Rangers in the second, and then it was 8-8 in the third for both sides, for a grand total of 38 for the Rangers, 34 for the Penguins. The power plays, the Rangers went 2 for 3 on the power plays. That was an absolute killer for the Penguins tonight. Their penalty kill did not do them any favors tonight. And the Penguins went 0 for 3 on the power play. So, their special teams, the Penguins special teams, not real good on the penalty kill. That really hurt them tonight. And Shesterkin stopped 31 of 34. Domingue stopped 33 of 37. And I don't know, Domingue, the last couple of games, he's struggled. He really has. And I guess Jari has been skating, but I still don't expect. I don't expect Jari to start in Game 7. I don't. I think it's going to be Domingue again. And yeah, I mean, jeez, I don't know. I mean, Domingue's got to find he's got to find a way to get himself back into form, I guess, because yeah, he's really struggled. The 3 stars were Kreider, Zibanejad, and Malkin, according to the NHL app. And I definitely understand, especially Kreider and Zibanejad. They were a big reason the Rangers have forced this series to 7 games. Incredible. Absolutely incredible game. And Sunday, that is a game that will be one series that will go to a Game 7. And yeah, MSG is going to be rocking on that game. So we move from that one to the next game, which I guess we can say finally, Game 6 of the Panthers and Capitals. The Panthers on the road in Washington, playing the Capitals. Panthers win. They finally win their first playoff series since I was a senior in high school, which was 26 years ago. Yes, I'm totally dating myself. But yeah. I mean, because what was the stat that I saw? 24 consecutive series? There was a lot of years they missed the playoffs, so this is what I'm trying to understand. They're saying like 24 straight series that they've gone that they have not won. I'm not entirely sure how the stat went. It seemed kind of weird because I'm like, I know darn well the Panthers have missed the playoffs more than twice in the last 26 years since their last playoff appearance or their last playoff series win. So, and it's Bobrovsky and Samsonov. They're tending the goals, and the first period, not a lot going on. I mean, no goals after the first period. A lot of end-to-end action. Bobrovsky's looking pretty good. Samsonov is looking good. And the first period ends, and it's no score. So, and then you come into the second period, and there's some end-to-end action there. And then Dowd. The Capitals get on the board first. It's Dowd with his first of the postseason from Hathaway and Larson at 3:44 of the second. So the Capitals are up 1-0. And you're thinking, uh-oh, here we go again. And it's just like something about Florida. They can't see. They just, it's been a struggle. This first round has really been a struggle for them. But the Panthers respond. At 6:13, it's Lomberg from Hornqvist and Luostarinen, and that ties the game. That's Lomberg's first of the postseason. So after the second period, it ends 1-1. A lot of back and forth action for the rest of that period. Some good opportunities. No pucks behind the goaltenders though. So we go into the third period. It's tied 1 apiece, and it doesn't stay tied long, because a minute 37 into the third period, it's Backstrom from Schultz and Van Riemsdyk. That makes it 2-1 in favor of Washington. And if you're a Panther fan, you're thinking, we're really going to do this? This is going to happen again? You had to be definitely thinking that. But then more end-to-end action, some more good saves being made, and then Giroux. One of the reasons why they made this trade to get him, Claude Giroux scores. He scores his third of the postseason at 8:18 from Ekblad and Verhaeghe. So that makes it 2-2. And it's like, okay, the Penguins, the Panthers, they got right back into the game. And yeah. So they're going back and forth, some more, really good chances. And then Barkov with an absolutely gorgeous goal on a rush that resulted from a shot from, it escapes me who shot the puck for the Capitals, but he rang it right off the post. It hit right off the post, and the Panthers came flying right back down the ice, and the end of that results at 14-17 Barkov from Giroux and Weegar, and that gives the Panthers a 3-2 lead, and you're like, holy cow, this might happen. And you're thinking, all right, cool. So some more end-to-end action. Capitals are getting desperate, and they go and they pull the goaltender, and then as they have the extra man on, the Panthers take a penalty. So Forsling goes to the box, and so the Capitals have a 6-on-4. Well, needless to say, that penalty didn't last long, because maybe 10 seconds, maybe? At 18:57, it's Oshie on the power play from Mantha and Kuznetsov that ties the game at 3. And I remember after that goal, I actually went and put on my Facebook page, I literally said, so apparently the hockey gods just do not want Florida to ever win a playoff series again. Because it's like, they're right there. They were a minute away from finally winning their first playoff series since 1996. And I literally put that on Facebook saying the hockey gods just seem to have it out for Florida, because they will not let these guys win a series. And so it goes to overtime. And I'm thinking, because honestly, if this series goes to 7 games, Florida would not win. I don't think. But it doesn't get that far into the overtime. A gorgeous setup. It is Verhaeghe at 2:46 from Giroux and Sherratt. A beautiful pass by Giroux over to Verhaeghe. Verhaeghe puts the puck in the net and sends the Florida Panthers finally, they finally win their first playoff series since 1996. It's been a long time coming for them. They finally get out of the first round. They win the series in 6. And I'll tell you, that's 6 games. The Washington Capitals gave them everything they could handle. And this is the thing. The Panthers are the President's Trophy winners. There was a 22-point separation between the Panthers and the Capitals. And this series very easily could have been the other way. Florida had a couple of games where they were down 3 goals in 2 of these games, and they came back in those games. This series could have very easily been over in favor of the Capitals. But the Panthers, they hung in, and They finally won one. I mean, what do you say? Finally, they get it done. So the shots favor the Capitals. In the first period, it's 13-8 in favor of Washington. The second period, it's 14-9 in favor of the Panthers. In the third period, it's 13-7 in favor of the Capitals again. And then in overtime, the shots were 2 apiece. The Capitals had 37 shots. The Panthers, mixing up my P's here, the Panthers had 31. And Bobrovsky stopped 34 of 37. Samsonov stopped 27 of 31. Your 3 stars, according to the NHL app, were Verhaeghe, Barkov, and Oshie. And and then, of course, after the Panthers got the goal, I went back on Facebook and said, holy cow, it finally happened. The Panthers finally win a playoff series since my high school years. Which, I mean, that tells you how far back that goes. You know, I mean, so it was very, very cool. The Panthers advanced to the second round. They're in the divisional final. And they await the winner of tomorrow night's Game 7 between the Toronto Maple Leafs and the defending 2-time champion Tampa Bay Lightning. We might see the Atlantic Division final might be the Battle of Florida again. Or it could be the Toronto Maple Leafs. We'll know that tomorrow. And then the night wraps up, Game 6 of the Calgary Flames and the Dallas Stars. And this game, I mean, this again, the first period especially, lots of end-to-end action. Both goalies being fantastic. Markstrom in net for Calgary, Ottinger in net for Dallas, and they were both tremendous. And Rupe Hintz gets the Stars on the board after some furious action, end to end saves. I mean, great saves being made, but Hintz gets the goal at 14:52 from Pavelski and Robertson. That puts the Dallas Stars up 1-0, and as we've seen, 1-0 wins in this series. This has been two really, really good goaltenders that have. It's been a battle. It's been a heck of a battle. But the Stars get up 1-0 after the first period. The second period starts, and again, it's some good end-to-end action. The ice was definitely tilted toward Dallas's favor in the second period. But it's 6:04. It's Raffl from Kiviranta to put the Stars up 2-0. And that was Raffl's second of the postseason. So the Stars are up 2-0. Again, what is it with 2-0 leads? We can't. These teams can't hold them, because not long after that, a little over 2 minutes later, it is Stone narrowing the lead to 2-1. It is Stone from Gaudreau and Tkachuk at 8:09. So that was Stone's first of the year. So it is now 2-1. So the Flames have they've climbed back into this. They've gotten it close. And now they're starting to feel it. Excuse me. So yeah, the Flames are starting to feel it. It's 2-1, and just a couple minutes after the Flames made it 2-1, they tie it at 2 apiece. It's Backlund from Stone and Anderson, his third of the year, at 11:59 of the second period. So it's tied. And here we go again. 2-0 leads. Back now they're tied again. However, this time, you wouldn't see the team that was down 2-0, you wouldn't see them rally off 3 or 4 in a row of, 3 or 4 unanswered to take the lead. Because at 17:32 of the period, it is Heiskanen from Faxa and Suter. That gives the Stars a 3-2 lead. They had the 3-2 lead going into the third period, where, again, a lot of good end-to-end action. Ottinger looking fantastic. Markstrom making some pretty good saves. And the Flames go and they pull the goaltender. And at 19:18, it is Sagan from Hintz and Raffl. He scores on the empty net to make it 4-2. And the Calgary Flames and Dallas Stars, they're going to be playing a Game 7 also. Something, these wild card teams, everybody talks about, the wild card team shouldn't be winning these. Well, these aren't your typical wild cards from back in the day. Everybody wants that one. We want the 1-8 format back because all these good teams won't lose. Are you sure? Because you might get 2 of them. You might get 2 of these division winners that might end up getting bounced in 7 games by these by a couple of wild card teams. So when you say that, these good teams, they won't lose in the first round if they're playing these lower seeded teams, it doesn't matter whether it's a divisional setup or the conference setup. We're seeing these as people would call them, these number 7 or number 8 seeds, they're winning. They're not only being competitive, but they've forced these teams to 7 games. So, you gotta give those teams credit. The shots favored Dallas. The shots, though, in the first favored Calgary. It was 18-10 Calgary in the first. Lot of peppering on the goaltenders in that first period. Second period, 17-9 in favor of Dallas. So it's totally switched in that second period. And then the third period, Dallas outshot Calgary 13-11 with a total shot of 40 for the Dallas Stars, 38 for the Calgary Flames. Markstrom stopped 36 of 39. Ottinger stopped 36 of 38. Another fantastic performance by the Lakeville, Minnesota goaltender. Jake Ottinger he's kind of showing that he's kind of arrived, and I would not be the least bit surprised if in Game 7 of this series, if Dallas wins it. If I had to pick right now who would win Game 7 in that series, even though it's going to be back in Calgary, I think Dallas. I think Dallas might pull it out. We'll know that obviously on Sunday, but and it's also interesting too because it was the final score was 4-2, but according to the NHL app, you had Ottinger the first star, which I can fully understand. Markstrom was the second star. He only gave up 3 goals, but as one of the stars, I don't know. And then Heiskanen, he got third star. I could see it, and I have no problem with Heiskanen. Ottinger for sure. Markstrom, I don't know necessarily about, but and Heiskanen. But Jake Ottinger for the Dallas Stars, they're looking fantastic. They really are. So that means we have, as I tune into my bracket here, as you'll probably be able to see, as I'll show close up here. You've got here's the West. You got the Flames and the Stars, the Oilers and the Kings. They're playing in 7 games. Of course, you got the Avalanche and the Blues. That's a guaranteed matchup. But look at over here. Look at in the East. 3 of the 4 series are going 7 games. They're going the distance. 5 in total. I can't remember the last. It's been a long time since we've seen, even just half of the first round series is going the distance. We got 5 of them this year. 5 of the 8 series are going all 7 games. And I tell you, it's a lot of fun. It is crazy. Tomorrow's game 7s are because I think they figured out the times. It is the Carolina Boston one is at 3:30. I think that's 3:30 our time. I don't think it's 3:30 Eastern. I think it's 3:30 our time. So that one's the Canes and Bruins are at 3:30. At 6 o'clock, it is the Lightning and the Maple Leafs. I can only imagine how Scotiabank Arena in Toronto is going to be tomorrow night. That place is going to be absolutely electric. That game 7 is that starts at 6, and then at 9 o'clock, it is the Los Angeles Kings going to Edmonton to face the Oilers in their game 7. So we'll have 3 series determined tomorrow. We'll find out who Florida is going to play. And then the other 2 series then are on Sunday. And I don't think they've come up with a time yet. But those ones obviously will be the Rangers and the Penguins and the Stars and Flames. Those will be the 2 game 7s on Sunday. So when Sunday concludes, the divisional finals will be all set, and we'll know who's going where. And we know one matchup already. The Central Division final is all set. That's the Colorado Avalanche playing the St. Louis Blues. So that series is set. The Panthers are awaiting an opponent, and the rest of them we'll find out tomorrow and Sunday. The second round divisional finals will be all set, and yeah, definitely look forward to tuning into some of these games tomorrow. And again, is there anything better, especially Game 7 of the Stanley Cup playoffs? But the fact you got 5 of them in the first round alone, it kind of makes you wonder. Okay, does this mean the rest of these series are just going to be like 4 or 5 game series? I hope not. But yeah, a lot of these teams, they are going to be spent. But because I'm guessing after Sunday, I gotta think that the teams that play tomorrow, I almost have to think that their second round series would start Monday, maybe. So there's not a lot of downtime, and then the 2 series that get determined on Sunday would probably start Tuesday. That's kind of what I'm thinking. I could be wrong on that. They might take that the next Monday. They might take that off and then start on Tuesday. We'll see how that goes along. We'll know that information a little more after the series are decided. But yeah, what a very interesting first round. 5 of the 8 divisional semifinal series are going the distance. I'd love to know your guys' thoughts on that. What do you guys think about it? Do you guys like the fact that it's going that 5 of these series are going 7 games, or do you wish some of them would have gotten done a little earlier? I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts on that. And what are your guys' picks? Who do you guys think? Who do you guys think wins these game 7s in these 5 series? Who wins game 7s? Who do you think's gonna end up playing where? I'd love to know. I'd love to hear you guys' thoughts on that. And that should do it for me. I thank you guys so much for being here. I appreciate all the support that you guys give. And if you're new to the channel, I hope you've enjoyed the video. I hope you tune into the other videos. I hope you like it. I hope I can do a good enough job to earn your guys' subscription. If you like the video, hit that subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate the support. And yeah, I want to do the best. I want to try to make the best content I can for you guys. And hopefully you guys will all enjoy it. Hopefully you do enjoy it. And if you do, hit that subscribe button. That subscribe button can be your friend. That is your friend. Just trust me. Just trust me. The subscribe button is your friend. It's like I'm trying to hypnotize. But yeah, I will be back tomorrow. We got 3 game 7s tomorrow that will be fantastic. And hopefully tomorrow, depending on how busy we end up getting, I'm gonna be trying to tune in to these games as much as I can, and hopefully I'll be able to do the individual reviews again tomorrow. And yeah, I look forward to that. And again, is there anything better than game 7s? I mean, game 7s. It's always a blast seeing these series go the distance. So again, let me know your guys' thoughts. Let me know who you guys think wins all of these series. And yeah. And again, if you're new and you enjoy the channel, hit that subscribe button. The subscribe button is your friend. And I will see you guys again tomorrow.